Bedwars. It's a basic game where you have to destroy the opponent's bed and kill them in order to win. These are my attempts. Game 1, it started off pretty simple. I decided to go with a strategy that a couple of my friends taught me called the endstone defense. Basically, you cover your bed in endstone as a bottom layer. They instead, in the beginning of the game, buy shears, thinking that everyone's going to have their bed covered by wool. Well, instead, yours is made out of endstone, giving you a better defense and a heads up on opponents. And yeah, unfortunately, with almost every single defense in this game, you get an sticking out block that makes you have to destroy it later on, which also makes you have to buy a pickaxe early. I would have already done that anyway, but yeah. We then decide to immediately go and rush pink, thinking that if we can get the early drop on them, that I can easily destroy them. So, after collecting better resources to get supplies such as shears and an iron sword, I decided to go head on over. And this is when you guys get to see my epic bridging. Yeah, pretty epic, isn't it? This looked a lot better when I was playing. Unfortunately, Pink intercepts me in the diamond area, and I get absolutely destroyed. While I'm dead, Pink takes the opportunity to use my bridge to destroy my bed, because he already got a pickaxe, and then I absolutely get wrecked by Pink because I am trash at this game. Well then, game 2. I decided to start out this game by being a lot more aggressive than I was in the previous games. Because, well, you saw how that last game went. So instead of covering up my bed this game, I decided to immediately rush towards green. But after deciding that I should go around the back to see if I can get the drop of him, we get to experience more of my epic bridging. To my credit, green does not actually see me coming, and this allows me to easily sneak into his base. Unfortunately, I didn't buy shears before this, so I'm not able to store his bed before he sees me and ends up taking me out and replacing the wool around his bed. Fortunately, he can now use the bridge that I built to get over to my base, which he immediately starts doing, and I am basically defenseless. Thankfully, I actually managed to fend him off this round because he actually got knocked over and I was able to knock him off. I immediately then start rushing for green, but then he respawns and once again absolutely destroys me, with me being absolutely defenseless to anything to it. Then, in the time I'm falling and time I'm respawning, green is able to go rush to my bed, and I literally didn't even notice that he was coming. I actually don't really know how I missed that. But green then destroys my bed, so I decided to go run over to see if I could destroy his in time. Unfortunately, he is right on my tail, and I don't manage to make it all the way to his bed in time in order to save my life. One curious thing is that I didn't notice that there was actually an opening on the bed, but while I did notice, I immediately got knocked into the void. Alright then, game 3. We start this game in a bit of a city-themed map, and this actually is an advantage as it allows me to build a height over the opponents. So once again, I go for a more aggressive strategy and immediately start gathering resources to attack my neighbor. This is definitely one of the most embarrassing games that I play, though. After defending my bed and literally not at all, I buy shears and blocks to go over to my opponent's base and see if I can take him out. This takes a while, so while we're waiting for me to buy supplies and bridge over, uh, please subscribe. I'm a bit of a beginning YouTuber, and I don't really like asking for subscribers, but if you actually enjoyed the content, please subscribe. After seeing that Gray is kind of defenseless right now, I decide to go bridge over his base so he can't even see me coming. While I'm bridging over, Green is already bridging over the diamond, thankfully, so I have a bit of a disguise and he won't be able to see me. Of course, there was always the risk that he might be able to see me bridging over his bed, but I decided that it was more worth it if I was able to destroy his bed. That way, I'd have a chance to actually manage to take him out before he can attack me. And if he's the most immediate opponent, I would have the upper advantage. And to be fair, I did make it over, and I do have the shears in the better position. So as I'm rushing to the opponent's bed, I am ready to destroy it. Unfortunately, one thing I didn't realize is that Gray's bed was already destroyed by Red, and I actually get killed by Gray, but the game's not over just yet, as Gray obviously hasn't noticed my bridge, and so I can already go and try and attack him again to maybe even win the game. I don't grab any supplies, unfortunately, as I go over to attack Gray, so I'm basically sitting duck. I decided to come back to see if I can get more supplies. Accidentally click on solo upgrades because I don't have any diamonds. And yeah, gather more supplies before I notice that White is bridging over to me. I try to see if I can get him off his bridge. Unfortunately, I am just out of range of the one block that would be able to make me be able to take him out. And as I neglected bed defense earlier, he goes right behind me, hits me off, and destroys my bed while I'm falling. Alright, let's move on to game 4. I decided to go with a big different strategy from the earlier games that I played, and this time decide to actually defend my bed instead of immediately attacking everyone around me. So once again, I decided to go with the endstone strategy, which was endstone strategy and immediately cover up my bed with wool. And no one actually attacks me right off the bat this game. Oh yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm actually doing the live voiceover right now, so I actually don't really remember this recording. As I cover up the rest of my bed, I decide to try and break the final block with my hand before realizing that this would be a lot faster with a pickaxe and I'm just wasting my time. After going to go get a pickaxe, so I go and grab a pickaxe, and while I'm doing this, nothing's bad actually happened to me. I have a bit of lag with the axe, but I end up buying all the necessary equipment to win the game. Hopefully. With a better defense, I decide now it's time to this would actually be a good time to attack the opponents and maybe even take them out. So I start bridging over, and my blocks just magically disappear. Literally, I didn't even see them drop out of my inventory, so I don't really know what just happened. I buy a bow with no arrows and buy more wool so I can go and bridge over to diamonds. Unfortunately, Yellow's already getting ready to bridge over to the diamonds, and while I'm bridging over in my very slow fashion, Yellow is a lot faster and can manage to bridge over quicker. I mean, look at that bridging. That's really, really pathetic. Ooh, that's bad bridging. Ooh, ah, ah. Yellow already bridged over because I took like 2 days, and I die. My bed gets destroyed, and despite trying to run away, I just can't get away in time and end up getting killed. Well then.